of emotions. First of all, we want to celebrate the courage and the commitment of those people who sailed in the flotilla. Secondly, we want to grieve for the people who were killed and support them and their families and country members in their grief. But also we feel the deepest form of anger at the acts of the Israeli state. What happened this week is absolutely consistent with all the behavior of the Israeli state. Israel is a rogue state. Israel has committed atrocities for decades, and we must stand against them. It is committing ethnic cleansing. It is Judaizing Jerusalem. It is stealing the heritage of a whole people. It is dispossessing them, stealing their land and their livelihood. So we have a tremendous responsibility and a tremendous opportunity after this week, because the world has now noticed what is happening in Palestine. Astonishing, isn't it? Because this has been happening for decades, but now the world is noticing what is happening. Yes, even our Foreign Secretary said that the siege of Gaza is counterproductive and unacceptable. Even he can manage to utter a squeak of protest. So we have a responsibility, and we have to act. Yes, we can demonstrate, we can write letters, but more than that, we have to find every action which we can do to bring pressure to bear on the Israeli state. And that means we have to support boycotts, sanctions and divestment. Many of us have been demonstrating in the local supermarkets, inside them, telling them they should not be stocking these appalling imports from Israel. We have 15, 20 people, but we need 30, 40, 50 people to go with us into the supermarket. Will everybody here today commit themselves, put up your hands or your fists, to say that you will join in this movement? Please say you will join us. We need huge scale, and we need people to join in the cultural boycott. We have been telling Israeli performers and British and American performers who go and perform in Israel, they must not do this. They must not be complicit with the radical singer who performed at in London. He then announced that he would not go and take part in his concert in Israel. So we are having success, and we must go on, we must press on, and we need people to do these things. Some of us interrupted a performance by the Jerusalem Quartet at the Windsor Hall, and that was live on air on BBC, and there was a huge dialogue after that. So all of us must commit ourselves to end this brutal regime and do everything that we can. Thank you to the grassroots and everybody else who's organised today.
Thanks, Zoe. It's clear in our heads that we are committed to this cause until it's resolved. And as a matter of decency of a human being, we send a clear message to the people of Gaza that we're coming by sea, under the sea, in the air, whether running or jumping or walking or swimming. We're coming to tell you that we are with you against this racism and this apartheid. It's been announced yesterday in London that sometime in late August there are going to be two convoys going to Gaza, two massive convoys, one by sea as a flotilla and another one going by land. So we will be putting our hands in our pockets and we'll be shouting and telling to our friends, collecting money and support and media by all means to give those people who are going to give their time to go to Gaza. And above all, we send them our wishes and we give the people our representative who go to Gaza. We're going to tell the people of Gaza that we support you, we support everything you do, we support your resistance, we support your steadfastness, and we are with you until the end of this occupation. Sussex University and the Student Union, and the best of the Sussex University Friends of Palestine Society within the Student Union. Our next speaker is Bushra, who's been doing tremendous work this year in the Student Union. Please, Bushra.
I don't want to apologize for my voice because yesterday I was screaming too much, so I hope you can hear me. So I'm here today on behalf of the Friends of Palestine Society at Sussex University, and I'm representing the students at Sussex University that support the Palestinian cause, and to tell you that we're fully supportive of any direct or indirect actions taken against the piracy and the bigotry of the State of Israel. And we, as a student movement, have historically supported the Palestinian cause and the struggle of the Palestinian people for their justice and their freedom. About a week ago, and I'm not going to say it again, we know what happened with the Gaza flotilla. I just want to remind you as well that yesterday, the Rachel Corrie boat also got diverted to Ashdod in Israel and could not continue its route to the Gaza shores. This is depriving the Gazans not only from vital humanitarian aid, but it's also depriving them from the international support and the recognition that we are showing them, and that we are lobbying on the outside, and that we are mobilizing to make these interventions happen, and we are depriving them from that view and that perspective. Sussex students have historically proactively engaged with the Palestinian cause through various means possible, including the twinning with Tabas University, Al-Quds University in Palestine, and we've also passed a referendum to boycott Israeli goods on campus last fall. We are here today taking action against the Israeli raid regarding the Gaza flotilla. But please, I want to remind you that last December, 1,400 Palestinians died in the Gaza massacre, and the Palestinians are systematically stopped, imprisoned, and sometimes killed with no justice and no fair trial. I want to remind you that the Gazans have been imprisoned in their strips for 3 years now, hassled, and lived under brutal military occupation and colonization. And finally, that the Palestinians in Israel suffer being third-class citizens in their own state. And finally, as well, the Palestinians in the diaspora cannot return home. And we must not forget that. It's not only about the Gaza flotilla, it's about 60 years of occupation and colonization. So please, when you're protesting and signing your petitions, please take direct action. Do not forget Israeli actions taken for the past 60 years. Do not forget that the longer this list grows of Israel actions and bigotry, the bigger our movement and the stronger our movement. And the credibility is stronger for us because 25,000 people came yesterday, and the international world condemned the Gaza flotilla raid. So please don't make your attendance today unique, and bring your voices back to your families and friends, and tell them about this land called Palestine, because this is how we will break the Israeli propaganda machine, and this is how we will break the siege on Gaza by protesting and mobilizing and assembling and organizing. Finally, I'll be quick. We as students in Sussex University and in the UK feel deeply and particularly concerned for the Palestinian cause, as we have a responsibility as students to support students in the Palestine. And we have a historical responsibility as British to support the Palestinian cause and the plight of the Palestinians. So thank you for your support, and thank you for coming here today. Let's tell Israel today with our voice that they can no longer as our laws, and justice must be done, and these votes must be let through.
Our message to the so-called state of Israel. And on that note, some people tell me